Welcome back to the Underestimate and to an edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And yeah, for the Valentine's Day edition of Dynamite, there was a lot going on, and we had some big matches such as Copeland against Garcia, the Jacksons against Top Flight, but kicking things off, a really interesting match, Dax Harwood taking on John Moxley, and signature style. Dynamite opened with Moxley making his way through the crowd as Wild Thing plays, and Dax Harwood also came out solo to keep things fair. They started things with a furious lock-up and ended in the most surprising way. Mox kissed Harwood and then dared him to do something about it. From that point towards there was a fight, both men fancied themselves as strikers, and they put these skills on full display. It was neither a pretty nor a technical affair, but it was a fun brawl with a few entertaining spots. They had a great energy and a hot crowd, and nobody at ringside to distract from the action. The first half was almost all strikes, but we saw a lot of variety after the commercial break. You could hear Justin Robbins announce when 5 minutes remained, and again it was down to 2 minutes. Harwood tried his best, but he ended up passing out to a sleeper to give Mox the win. When he refused to release the hold, Cassy ran to the ring and started beating on him until Claudio came down to take him out. So yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 on the whole. I thought a really fun match, interesting clash of styles, not something that Dax is kind of used to, but Mox, really good performance from him, and of course between two wrestlers that's so good, it was always going to be a great match. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Some poor jobber named Barrett Brown then had the unfortunate task of taking Wardlow on this week, and you can probably guess what happened. And the next match saw Daniel Garcia take on Adam Copeland, with the winner getting the next shot at Christian Cage's TNT title. The veteran tried to overpower his younger opponent early, but Garcia decided to play up his heel tendencies a bit, especially during the picture-in-picture segment. He did a fantastic job making Garcia into a big babyface as the match progressed by having him make bigger comebacks. The crowd was firmly behind him by this time and reached the halfway point. Nick Wayne and Killswitch ended up interfering to cause a no contest. Cage and Daddy Magic had a standoff with some chairs, and Killswitch hit him from behind. Copeland saved Garcia head from having his head smashed in, but Mama Wayne hit a low blow. Cage ended up smashing Copeland's head between two chairs before posing with his group. This gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good one. I guess it will lead to a triple threat match. It only increases Christian Cage as a heel. So yeah, I think it kind of worked. Did a nice job, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Next up on Dynamite, we saw Matthew and Nicholas Jackson taking on Top Flight, and before that we got a long segment with Samoa Joe, Swerve and Hangman, and the three promising to beat each other at Revolution, followed by Tony Storm's nose film. But onto the match, and the Jacksons were still wearing their bloody white suits from the attack last week. Top Flight had a slight speed advantage, so both Martin brothers used it to make sure. The Bucks did a great job using a lot of classic heel tricks to get heat, but because they are the Bucks, they still cheered by some fans. This exactly was the fast-paced match that you want between these four, but it was an exciting stories as well. And after hitting a low blow, the Jacksons hit the EVP trigger to win. It was predictable, but I thought really helped with a heel turn for Matt and Nick. So yeah, decent stuff, 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Sky Blue versus Willow, Stat opted to stay at the back while Stokely accompanied Willow to the ring. Julia Hart also chose to head back, so neither woman had the advantage. Blue went right after her opponent with a running drop kick, but Nightingale cartwheeled out of the corner and hit a body slam. Despite Nightingale having a big size and power advantage, Sky managed to get in quite a bit of offense. The longer the match went, the less she felt like an underdog. The contest had a handful of moments, and it felt like there was hesitation from one of both competitors, but the majority was still solid. Halfway ended up distracting the ref long enough for Nightingale to kick out the code blow and hit the Doctor Bomb for the win. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. I thought pretty decent stuff. Nothing much really to it without the storyline going on backstage, but for its decent match at 6 out of 10. But moving on then to Orange Cassidy versus Matt Taven in a Texas Death Match for the International Championship, but sorry, it wasn't on the line. But it's kind of weird just to chuck the stipulation on there, especially when it's been used so sparingly in the past. It was never going to make it a standard bout with headlocks and chain wrestling. They were throwing hands out of the gate, and the fight spilled into the crowd before the break. Taven hasn't wrestled a singles match in AEW, so it's a great chance for him to shine and show that he can be a top heel. We saw some tables brought into the match, and Taven himself put one through a missed dive over the top rope in the wildest spot of the night. Cassidy found a heart-shaped box of tacks and dumped them into the ring, but Taven ended up shoving him onto them before landing on them himself a moment later. This was one of the AEW matches that was all about brutality, weapons and occasional comedy spot. The crowd inside the HEB Centre in Cedar Park, Texas loved every minute of it until Mike Bennett showed up to interfere. Champ Barretta came out with a steel pipe to even the odds. In the end, Cassidy managed to get the win by knockout to win the show on a high note. And like I said, it kind of seemed like a bit thrown together all of this, but it's still a fun match, and I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. Yeah, like I say, enjoyed it. Big win for Cassidy, but I think Taven really showed that he can do it. Do a good job singly too here, to be fair. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought, pretty decent episode of Dynamite this week. Lots of fun matches. Cassidy taking on Taven was a fun match in the main event. And just throughout the card, there was a number of decent matches. And I think the build to Revolution it's actually been quite decent so far as well. So on the whole, a pretty fun episode. And like I say, 7 out of 10. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.